What's going on, guys? So if you clicked on this video, you're probably running into the same issues that I'm running into. You realize that you've hit the limit of your iPhone storage and you decide to go over to your settings and realize if you go to iPhone storage, your system data is showing that it is taking up a large majority of your storage. Now, I have 128 gigabytes of storage, and this might shock you. If I go all the way down, 50.34 gigabytes of my storage, nearly half, is taken up by system data, and there is nothing that I can do. Now, Apple does recommend offloading your apps. I see some articles saying that I should clear out my messages, delete some photos, offload stuff into the cloud. But those solutions don't actually fix the root cause, which is the system data, which is something that I don't really have control over, needs to be minimized somehow. You know who doesn't minimize me on this channel? Our sponsor. Nobody. Hello, this is Future Me, and I'm actually going to put this at the beginning of the video just so you guys can truly see that this does in fact work. This is my phone setup. You're going to see the same exact setup at the beginning of the video. This is completely free. I'm not sponsored by any company in order to clean your iPhone or anything like that. You can do this on any iPhone and you will get back your storage. And just to prove it to you, if I go over to my settings, my system data right now is at 7 gigs and my overall available space right now is 81 gigabytes. But you'll see that most of my apps are all here. All my photos, if I were to go over to the About page, are all here. These numbers should be very similar to what you're about to see. So this does in fact work. It's free, no sketchy apps, no sponsor segment for you guys to download and clean your iPhone or whatever it is. Just follow the video and you'll get the exact same results that I did. Okay, back to the beginning of the video. It might just cost you a little bit of your sanity. So what you want to do is you want to go all the way down to, go back to your general settings, go all the way down and hit transfer or reset iPhone. Now, I know this looks scary, but what we're going to have to do is back up our phone to the cloud, reset our phone, and then download that backup, and we're going to have pretty much a lot of our storage back. So if I go back to where I was before, iPhone storage, I'm sitting at 118 gigabytes of storage with 50.36 gigabytes of system data being taken. I'm going to do this first, but you guys can watch and see what happens so you can see if you want to do this yourself. Now, my recommendation is if you do have a MacBook that has enough storage to back up your iPhone, back it up to your MacBook. But Apple is nice that if you were to do this, they will actually give you the iCloud storage in order to offload this information. So it's basically saying you're eligible for as much free iCloud storage as you need to move apps and data to your new iPhone, but we're actually going to be downloading this back to the original iPhone. So I'm going to hit continue, gonna hit done. So if you're wondering why this page isn't changing even though you're hitting get started, don't worry, you don't have to keep going through this menu over and over again. You just want to go back to your main settings page, and then you'll see near the top that it'll have the iCloud backup in progress. So it's going to show you how much is complete and how much time is remaining. Like I said before, if you only pay for like 20 gigabytes or 50 gigabytes and you plan on doing a backup for your iPhone, you actually don't need to buy more iCloud space. Apple's basically giving us 21 days to temporarily use the backup to transfer to a new iPhone, but actually transferring back to our original iPhone for free. So I don't know how long they're going to be able to keep this up or if this method is still going to work in the future, but we do want to take advantage of this as of now. So if you want to get back your system data and get more performance from your phone, since a lot of it is being taken up by storage, this is what I recommend. All right, as you can see here, it says that my new iPhone is ready. Your data is ready to be moved to your new iPhone. The iCloud backup will be deleted in 21 days. Don't be afraid. Once again, you have 21 days to do this process. You don't have to rush it immediately. But I know there is one group of people around the world that are saying, what about my WhatsApp messages? I don't want to lose WhatsApp. So the nice thing about WhatsApp is it's also kind of bundled in with iCloud as well. So you want to go over to the WhatsApp app, go over to your settings. I've kind of already cheated a little bit, but you want to go over to your chats, which is in the settings page. You want to go to chat backup, and then you want to do backup now. Personally, I have mine set to the backup to be daily, but you can set it to whatever you want. I'm actually not going to include videos, but if you do, you can see what the overall megabyte is. Now, since this is linked to iCloud for iPhone specifically, I know on Android you can use Google Drive and other storage solutions. With iPhone, you have to back it up to iCloud. So if you don't have space, I would say clean out your iCloud to just get the amount of space you need for WhatsApp, back it up, and then you can start this process. So 462 videos, 5,666 photos, 89 applications, and then my available storage space is 8.84 gigabytes. So that's what we have before this entire process. So I'm going to go over to reset iPhone, or excuse me, erase all contents and settings. This is basically showing what is going to be erased off my iPhone. Wow, it's a lot of items on my wallet. I know this might seem scary, but you want to hit erase iPhone. You want to type in the passcode for what you use to unlock the device. It's uploading data to the iCloud. You can skip this since we already did this in the previous step. And now it's saying to disable Find My, so you have to enter in your password for your iCloud account on the device. Okay, there it goes. Yeah, my phone definitely got toasty just waiting for it to turn off. But now it looks like my iPhone is currently being reset. All right, so my device has finally been erased and it looks like you have a brand new iPhone. So you would just want to swipe up, go through the normal process here. I'm gonna select my country. My appearance is gonna be the same. Now I want to set up without another device, but if you do have another Apple device that has the same iCloud account, you can actually use that to help set this one up. But for me, I'm going to be completely fine. I decided to use Wi-Fi. You don't have to, but if your Wi-Fi connection is faster than your cell service, recommend doing this over Wi-Fi. Data and privacy, want to hit continue. This is definitely for an adult. I've never seen that before. Face ID is local, so you're gonna have to set this up once again, so I'm gonna do that real quick. So this is the screen that's going to get us back our storage. So two things, if you're a person who did this on a MacBook or a Windows laptop, you can actually use from Mac or PC. Since I'm showing you guys how you do this over the iCloud for completely free, you can click that first option and it should prompt us to type in our iCloud ID. So use that same iCloud ID that we backed up our original backup for. That sounded really weird, but you guys know what I'm talking about. So once you type in your username and password, you're gonna hit agree on the terms and condition page or any other, I guess, legal documents that Apple wants you to agree to. And that's gonna show you the signing in page. So you just wanna wait for this to load, and then it should give the options for the different iCloud backups that you can choose from. So if you are doing this the same day, you'll see an option for the iCloud backup for today. If you do have other iClouds, you can actually select which one, but I'm just going to select the one at 1:12 a.m. Yeah, I know, it's pretty late making this video. So I'm going to select that one. You'll notice that it's loading here on the top right, so you don't have to spam any buttons there. Just be patient. I know you're eager to get back into your iPhone, but just give it a couple seconds. Should load, pull the information down. All right, so this is just a confirmation screen on all your old settings that you had on your iPhone are going to be set up the same on this device. So I know this might be nerve-wracking for a lot of people, and the first thing I want to say before getting into these 2 points is to have some patience, right? This is going to take time and it is going to move. You just have to be patient. But there are two major factors here: how big of a backup it was and how fast your internet connection is. So whether you're using Wi-Fi or your cell service like 5G, that is going to dictate how long this restoration is going to take. So I don't think my backup was that big, and my upload and download is around 250. So give it some time. The estimation is probably going to be there for a while, but just notice the blue bar is slowly going to be moving, and then you should get a estimation time once it starts rolling, but just be patient. So I'm going to leave this screen here, do a quick time lapse so you guys can see in real time what happens, but I'm going to step away real quick so I'm not about to stare at the screen for a while. So movie magic. All right, so a couple things to note right off the bat. So the wallpaper, the widgets, the color scheme that I had before, as you can see, it's already been restored. If you have other wallpapers, that is all going to still be there. Your device might be really hot. Don't be too concerned. It's just because it's downloading all the apps and data that you've had before on your previous iPhone. But if you scroll over to the right or wherever your, the way you have your home screen set up, you'll notice that a lot of your apps are starting to reinstall one by one, and you might be like, hey, where are all the apps that I had? Well, they might all just be segmented out in the different categories that you have. As you can see, my screen is pretty bare. There's not much here. But if it's not categorized yet, it's probably just sitting in the other category. But the main thing that we want to check right now is the settings app. So if you go over to settings, you'll see that I have about 11 gigabytes left to restore. For other people, it might vary, it might be smaller, it might be larger. But if I go back over to general, click on iPhone storage, you'll see that I have a lot of my storage back, 22 gigabytes out of 128. If I were to scroll all the way down, 8.4 is only being used by system data. Now, one thing I want to let you guys know up front is that your system data is going to start to fill up slowly yet again, but it's not nearly going to be as much as it was before we wiped our device. Now it's really only going to fill up from all the essential stuff that you're using on your current new iPhone that you backed up from. So if I go over to about, a lot of the stuff is going to be lagging behind the actual data itself. So if I were to so photos right now is showing 236, but if I were to hop back over to the actual Photos app, you'll notice on the top right here, I have 6,000 items. That's pretty much all the photos and videos that I had before I erased my device because it was backed up through iCloud. If your alarm is ever went off and you said 10 more minutes and it turns into an hour, that's exactly what happened this morning. So it is 7:46 a.m. and if I were to go over to my settings and show you guys the state that my iPhone is in, if I go over to About, you'll see that my songs, like I said, I don't have anything locally downloaded, but my videos and photos are pretty much exactly the same of what I had before. I'm pretty sure my applications, if I remember, is a little bit lower. I think I had like 95 if I'm not mistaken. But as you can see, my available is 82 gigabytes. If I were to go back to iPhone storage as well, you can see that my system data is significantly smaller than what it was before. I'm only sitting at 7.23. So it should fill up, but like I said before, not nearly as much as like 50 gigs. In the event that something goes wrong with my restore, you can always wipe the device again and back up from that same one. So what I'm actually going to do now that I have space on my iPhone is upgrade to iOS 26, see what it feels like on this device here to see if it's actually worth keeping my device or if it's worth actually upgrading to a newer iPhone. I have a feeling iOS 26 is going to be pretty good. I think the design is a little less to be desired, but overall I think it's going to be iOS at heart, and I think the features of iOS 26 trumps the design, in my opinion, for everything that I want from my iPhone. Otherwise, I'd go to Android. So, that being said, guys, hopefully this worked for you. Once again, to show you guys the WhatsApp side, all my WhatsApp messages are here, all my settings are here, all my calls are here. So yeah, there it is. That's how to get your system data back. If your phone is slowing down because you are just maxed out at that storage, highly recommend you check out this method here. You don't need to install any crazy apps. All right, with all that being said, guys, appreciate every single sub, like, and comment. My eyes kind of burn from the lack of sleep, but until next time, much love. You probably have run out of storage and you're looking for reasons What's going on, guys? So if you clicked on this video, what's going on, guys? So you probably clicked on this video. What's going on, guys? So you probably clicked on this video because what's going on, guys? So if you clicked on this video, you're probably of one of two people. You have end up re-downloading the stuff back, and then you realize and search. So this isn't any tips or tricks. Next we want to set up next. All right, so the second bar finally finished, and you'll see the Apple logo load up for a third time. This time it shouldn't take too much longer. It should boot up into the latest iOS you had before you erased your device. So just give it a couple seconds and you should see the screen turn into magic. Okay, never mind. A bar just showed up again, so I guess we gotta do this 3 times. All right, so after typing your username and password for your All right, so this is the backup that you guys. All right, so this is the